Welcome to Amateur Radio with N4MQU. I was introduced to ham radio by the Wright brothers, Don and Jerry, not Orville and Wilbur. In 1982, you were required to know Morse code to get your license. They helped me practice by using techniques like translating license plates on cars as we drove down the street alongside plenty of in-person practice. At that time, individual licensed amateurs could administer the novice exam, so Jerry gave me both my code test and the written exam. Jerry was also my first contact on 80 meters on November 5th, 1982. He lived in Virginia Beach and I lived in Norfolk. My second contact was all the way from Havelock, North Carolina, which felt like a huge DX to me at the time. We were required to keep a logbook of all of our contacts back then. I am fortunate that I still have my original paper log from 1982, and the requirement went away in 1984, but logging is still a great practice to get into, if only so you can make a video like this 40 years later. How did I find stations to talk to in 1982? We had to listen. We didn't have the internet, so we had to turn the frequency until we heard a station that we were licensed to use and could communicate with. I was tuning in on a 80-meter dipole along with a 40-meter dipole on the same line. You would copy the Morse code onto a notepad, and they paused, and since UK, you would reply in CW with your call sign followed by their call sign followed by DE and your call sign, which was KB4H and X. Without the internet, where did you find out where the call was located? They told you in their first transmission, so you would say like Havelock, North Carolina. And we did have a thick printed call book which you could look up the call signs and the city, state, and zip, and the email. Of course, there was no email in there. Before I got my license, my friend had a weekly schedule on Sunday morning at 9 a.m. They all shared a common interest, and that was astronomy, and me too, of course. And one of the friends lived in Richmond. In order for me to entice me to upgrade, they would chew the fat on the CW for a bit and then intentionally switch over to sideband to finish the call. They were much faster on their code speed than I was at the time. And anyway, that's how I got into amateur radio that's how we used amateur radio back in 1982. What is your experience, and how did you get interested in amateur radio? Please like and subscribe and make comments, and thank you very much. 73.